Hello, second graders. We are starting Unit 6 this week, and our spelling words are going to include some open and some closed syllables. So most of your spelling words are two-syllable words, and some will have both an open and a closed syllable. Some will just have closed syllables. So we need to learn what those are, and so we can identify them. So an open syllable ends with a long vowel sound. Most of the time, this will happen because the syllable ends in a vowel, like A, E, I, O, or U, and sometimes Y. A closed syllable ends in a consonant, usually. There's no long sound in it. For example, tiger, tiger. There are two syllables in that word, and they split up right after the I and right before the G. Tiger. The first syllable, ti, ends in a vowel, and the vowel says its name, making it an open syllable. Ti. It ends in an I, and you can hear I in that syllable. Ger, which is the second syllable, ends with an R, and therefore is closed. We don't have that long sound at the end. The word tiger has an open and a closed syllable. Okay? Now we are going to go through and read these words and make open syllables red and closed syllables blue. The first thing I think we should do is split all these words up into their syllables. That way we can see them easily, and then we'll go through and make them red or blue. Okay? Our first word is napkin. Napkin. And you can hear those two kind of groupings of words. Napkin. Our syllable breaks up after the P and right before the K. So we will put our little dash right there. A lot of times when you see a vowel, two consonants and then a vowel in the word, the break in the syllables is in between those two consonants. So we'll see that a couple of times throughout this list. Again, when you see a vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel in the word, a lot of times the syllables are split in between those two consonants, just like napkin. We are split between the P and the K. Those two consonants are sandwiched between the vowels. Okay. Our next word is even. Even. This is another two-syllable word, and we can hear that break right after the E and before ven. It's going to do this red squiggle because it no longer recognizes this as a word. Just ignore it. Okay. Lesson. Okay. Again, we are saying our vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. Even though these are the same consonant, our break is going to go in between them. Lesson. You can hear the S sound in both of those syllables. Open. Open. Our syllable breaks up right after that O and before the P. So you can probably already start seeing where the open and closed syllables are, so keep that in the back of your mind when we go back to it. Basket. Basket. Again, we're seeing our vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, so we can split our syllable right in between those two consonants. Next, human. 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 We can hear our break right after that U and before the M and man. Puppet. Puppet. Vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. Our syllable breaks up right between those two P's. Just like in lesson, even though it's the same letter, we can still hear the P sound in both of these syllables. Frozen. Frozen. Our syllable breaks up right after the O. Pilot. Pilot. Our vowel breaks up right after that I and before the L. Oh, human's a repeat. That's okay. We all make mistakes. I'll just get rid of it. Our next word is sunny. Sunny. In this case, the Y is acting as our vowel, so we still see that vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. So we'll split our syllable in between those two consonants. And our last word is trumpet. Trumpet. And we have our vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel again. So we know to split the syllable right in between those two consonants. Okay, now we can go through and we can make our open syllables red and closed syllables blue. So in napkin, neither of these syllables ends with a vowel or an open sound, so we're going to make this whole word blue. Okay. Next we have even, even. So that E at the beginning says its name, and that's the end of the syllable, even. So we're going to make that red, that is an open syllable. Our ven at the end is, however, a closed syllable, so we'll make that blue. Lesson. Neither of these end with a vowel, so we can guess immediately that they are both closed syllables. Open. O-pen. Our first syllable is just O, and it says its name, so we will make that red. Pen is a closed syllable. We do not hear a vowel at the end saying its name. Our next word is basket. Basket. Again, there's no vowel ending the either syllable or saying its name. Human. Human. Here we are hearing that vowel, so our first syllable is red, it's an open syllable, and man would be a closed syllable. Puppet. Puppet. There is no open syllable here, it's all closed. Frozen. We did break it off right here, and that ends with a vowel, so that's a good giveaway that that is an open syllable. And our ending is a closed syllable. Pilot is our next word, and again we split it right in between the I and the L. And we do hear the I say its name, so this would be an open syllable, and this would be a closed syllable. Sunny. This is all, this is a little tricky actually, sorry. Sun is a closed syllable, but ni, we are ending with a long vowel sound. Even though it's not Y, it is a long vowel sound. It's making a long E sound, so this would be an open syllable. And our last word is trumpet, and both of those are closed syllables. We are not hearing a vowel say its name at all. Okay, so for the most part, when we're looking at these, a lot of times the open syllable is first, and then there's a closed syllable, but there are exceptions to the rules, like if a word ends in a long vowel sound, or it ends in a Y, that's saying either the long I or long E sounds. Okay, these are all of your spelling words for this week. We have pencil, magnet, publish, supper, letter, lady, gravy, solo, open, odor, which is kind of like scent or smell, lead again, touch, door, front, and someone. So what I want you guys to do for today, your spelling assignment, is to write all of your words, but with the open syllable in red and the closed syllable in blue. Okay? That will also be posted on Google Classroom, so you can see all of that there. Now I'm going to move on to your vocabulary words, so if you want to pause and do your spelling homework now and come back to the video and do your vocabulary words later, that is okay, or you can just keep watching, okay? So our essential question for this week is about what myths help us understand. So a myth is a made-up story that attempts to explain mysterious events. We read a couple myths at the very beginning of the story, some fables. The thing about myths is that they usually come from ancient communities, and they're trying to tell a story of something very normal to us now. So one of the myths that we're going to be reading is about the life cycle of a pumpkin, how pumpkins came to be, things like that, things that you might just not know. They're trying to explain. If you remember, we read about a raven earlier in the year and how it got all of its coloring because it is all black, but it looks like it's shiny and metallic, and sometimes it's rainbowy. So we read a myth about that. When we are reading about these myths, we are going to be focusing on the theme of the myths. And I will explain this again in another video, but a theme basically is, what does the story teach you? So this is not going to tell you outright, like, this story is about friendship. It's going to be something that you have to think about based on the characters and the plot of the story. So again, I'll make another video explaining that, and I'll also send you a brain pop video that will go in depth with it too. Okay. However, we're focusing on vocabulary words right now. Our first vocabulary word is appeared, which means it came into sight, so you're suddenly seeing something. For example, buds appeared on the trees in early spring. You might see that on your trees at home. These little flowers start popping up. They appeared, so they suddenly came into sight. Our second vocabulary word is crops. And crops are a large number of plants that are grown for food. For example, the farmer grows crops of wheat and corn. So he's growing a large number of wheat and corn, and they're being used for food later on. Our next word is develop. And develop means to grow or change. Like the tadpole will develop into a frog. These tadpoles are going to grow and change, and they will become frogs. Our next word is edge. And an edge is a line or a border where something ends. For example, the ball rolled off the edge of the table, so the edge is all around, or it's the perimeter of this tabletop. Our next word is golden, which means bright and yellow like gold. For example, the golden sun shone in the blue sky. It is bright and yellow like gold. Our next word is rustled. That means it made a soft crackling sound. Like the leaves rustled in the wind. The wind came and made these leaves kind of crack and make a sound. Our next word is shining, which means giving out light. Bill was shining a flashlight on the book so we could read it at night. The flashlight was giving out light so that you could see the book. And now our last word is stages. And stages are steps in a process. Example, egg, caterpillar, and butterfly are stages in a butterfly's life. They are the process it goes through to become a butterfly. Okay, and that is it for this week. So again, don't forget to do your spelling assignment. Write all these words and make the open syllables red, closed syllables blue. You can use crayon or colored pencil. I would prefer you not use marker because, one, it bleeds through whatever paper you are using, and two, it tends to be messy and difficult to read. So please try to use either crayon or colored pencils for this activity. Okay,